like. It's just about that time. The captains are here. Fee, Caitlin, how are we feeling heading into your first draft as captains here?
The drama surrounding Caitlin Clark's return to the WNBA spotlight was far from a quiet comeback. It was an eruption, a tidal wave that swept across the league, shook the foundation of the All-Star system, and ultimately redefined what it means to have power in professional women's basketball. After spending weeks sidelined with a groin injury, fans weren't just hoping she'd return. They were demanding it. And when she finally did, she made sure the world remembered exactly who she was. From the moment the All-Star voting opened, it was clear that Clark's absence from the court had only made the anticipation grow stronger. Her fans didn't just show up, they made history. Clark pulled in a jaw-dropping 1,293,526 votes, a number so massive it dwarfed the collective vote total of the top 30 players from just 2 years ago. For context, the entire pool of top vote-getters in 2023 couldn't scrape together 1.2 million votes combined. Clark did it alone. That wasn't just a victory. It was a reckoning. A'ja Wilson, who had led voting in previous years with just under 100,000 votes, now looked like a footnote in comparison. Clark had collected 13 times as many votes. Let that number echo for a second. She didn't just surpass the previous record. She obliterated it, left it smoking in the rearview mirror, and kept driving forward with a fanbase that wasn't just engaged, they were obsessed. Social media turned into a campaign ground. Parents were teaching their kids how to vote. Fans were setting daily alarms to cast their ballots. Even people who had never tuned into a WNBA game were suddenly invested. The Caitlin Clark effect had turned the All-Star vote into a cultural moment. This wasn't just a player making a name for herself, this was a full-scale takeover. And then came the moment the league had been waiting for, the 2025 WNBA All-Star Draft. Clark, now crowned team captain alongside Minnesota Lynx's Napheesa Collier, entered the ESPN studio with a quiet confidence. Still fresh off her injury, she wasn't just participating, she was orchestrating. From the first words out of her mouth, fans knew they were about to witness something unforgettable. Her first pick was as bold as it was beautiful, Aaliyah Boston. Not just a talented player, but her Indiana Fever teammate. A sister-in-arms who had stood by Clark through the chaos of their rookie seasons. This was more than strategy. It was loyalty. It was trust. It was a statement that said, "I remember who had my back." But if that wasn't enough to send a message, her next move blew the roof off. A'ja Wilson. Yes, the same Wilson who had bested her in head-to-head matchups, outshone her in media narratives, and walked away with accolades many believed Clark deserved. But Clark didn't flinch. She picked Wilson anyway. That moment was about respect, not rivalry. Clark knew that to build the best team, she needed the best players, even if they'd been on opposite sides of the spotlight all season long. It showed maturity, humility, and competitive brilliance all in one swoop. Still, nothing prepared the league for what came next. As if drafting her rivals and honoring her teammates wasn't enough, Caitlin Clark did the unthinkable. She traded her coach. That's right. In the middle of the draft, on national television, Clark shocked ESPN producers, WNBA officials, and fans around the world by pulling off a move that had never happened before in All-Star history. She traded away Cheryl Reeve, the coach originally assigned to her team, and the same Cheryl Reeve who had famously left her off the Olympic roster and subtly criticized the media circus surrounding her rise. Clark's message was clear without her needing to say a word. "I don't forget." In Reeve's place, Clark brought in Sandy Brondello, head coach of the New York Liberty, a respected veteran who had earned a reputation for championing her players and empowering their style. It was the kind of strategic chess move that even NBA analysts would have applauded. Clark wasn't just drafting talent. She was building a culture. What followed was chaos and admiration all at once. The WNBA scrambled to confirm whether this unprecedented swap was even legal. ESPN's hosts stumbled through their lines, trying to pivot as the league confirmed the move was permitted. The trade stood. Brondello was in. Reeve was out. Let's not overlook what this moment truly represented. Clark didn't just remove a coach who had publicly dismissed her achievements. She flipped the power dynamic on its head. Reeve was once the gatekeeper, the coach who stood between Clark and the Olympic stage. Now, Clark had the authority to dismiss her from her team. And she did it with the calmness of a veteran CEO making a personnel decision. This wasn't about vengeance. It was about vision. Clark knew what kind of leader she wanted in the locker room. And for the first time in league history, a player had the influence and the audacity to make that decision on the fly. The draft rolled on, but something had shifted. The mood, the tone, the perception of who Caitlin Clark really was. She wasn't just a talented guard with a flashy jump shot. She was a power broker, a leader, a captain in every sense of the word. One who had earned her votes not just with skill, but with courage and strategy. And yet, beneath all the celebration, an ugly truth simmered beneath the surface. Despite being the most popular player in WNBA history, Clark's own peers had voted her just the 9th best guard in the league. 9th. Let that settle for a second. After breaking every voting record the league has ever seen, after turning a struggling franchise into a national headline, her fellow players ranked her behind 8 other guards, including ones most fans couldn't name on sight. This disconnect is more than just curious. It's telling. It reveals a league wrestling with the weight of Clark's stardom. Some players have embraced her. Others seem to resent her. Whether it's jealousy, old-school politics, or just plain resistance to change, the ranking paints a clear picture. Clark might have the fans, but not everyone in the locker room wants her on the throne. Yet, Clark keeps showing up, keeps leading, keeps breaking barriers. Her team for the All-Star game reads like a highlight reel waiting to happen. Boston, Wilson, Ionescu, Sabally, Kelsey Mitchell, players who can run, shoot, defend, and entertain. A perfect blend of familiarity and firepower. She even passed on Paige Buchers, a longtime rival from college days, to grab a better fit for her roster. Every pick had purpose. Every move built toward a bigger idea: dominance. Meanwhile, Collier crafted her own formidable squad with Brianna Stewart and Alicia Gray, players who bring experience and grit. Her selections leaned on chemistry and legacy, an approach that echoed the league's traditionalist roots. But make no mistake, this game isn't just about star power. It's about philosophy. Old school versus new wave. Grit versus genius. Tradition versus transformation. And it's happening in Indianapolis, Clark's house. Gainbridge Fieldhouse will be filled to the rafters with fans who voted like their lives depended on it. This won't be a neutral court. It'll be a battleground drenched in fever gold. Every assist, every shot, every celebration will be magnified by the roar of a crowd that didn't just vote, they fought for this moment. But what's most striking is the way Clark has handled all of it. The praise, the scrutiny, the doubt from her peers, the rejection from Team USA. She doesn't lash out. She doesn't beg for validation. She shows up, makes smart decisions, and lets the scoreboard do the talking. She's earned every inch of the spotlight, and now she's proving she knows what to do with it. The coach trade was more than a headline. It was a statement of arrival. Caitlin Clark is no longer just the future of the league. She's the present. A player who can bend league rules with a smirk and set new standards just by being herself. She's already changed how All-Star games are run. What's next? For now, all eyes are on the game. But the real story is what comes after. Because this draft didn't just build a team, it built a legend. Clark's journey from sidelined rookie to historic captain has turned the 2025 All-Star Game into something far more than a showcase. It's a stage, a proving ground, a battlefield where popularity meets performance, and where Clark can silence every doubter who thought ranking her 9th was enough to keep her from rising. This is bigger than basketball. It's personal, it's historic, and it's just the beginning. So if you believe Caitlin Clark is redefining what it means to be a star in the WNBA, let us know in the comments by writing CC Record Breaker. Did the coach trade surprise you? Do you think Clark was unfairly ranked by her peers? And who do you think will dominate the All-Star game? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this isn't just a moment, it's the start of something unforgettable. And trust us, you won't want to miss what happens next.